Hey, good afternoon, Pirate Prepper here. Today, kind of looking at the difference between prepping and survivalism. And the reason that this came up was Brian Laundrie, the kid out of Florida, who's now being labeled a survivalist. Is he? I don't know. Most survivalists I know wouldn't do dumb things that would get them killed or jailed. Most. And in his case, at minimum, going and hiding in the woods when everybody's looking for you, not your best option. But I digress. Prepping and survivalism. What's the difference? Two sides of the same coin, two pages of the same book, perhaps? I look at them as mindset. Two paths to the same end. Most of your survivalists do some prepping. Most preppers do some survivalist things. Making a fire with a flint and steel. Primitive, bow and fire drill. The primitive things. The more survivalist things. We all do. We practice them. The survivalist does them more. Because he's not relying as much on stored foods or things that are prepared, quite honestly. The difference is what is better? Good question. If you look at most survival situations, at least in the continental United States, the chances of you dying from dehydration, starvation, outside of an emergency situation are extremely rare. For the most part, we have ample supplies of food, clean drinking water, and realistically, if you can do a moderate amount of work, you're not going to starve. You're not going to go thirsty. You may have to let your pride go, but you're not going to starve. Prepping, or getting prepared, putting things back, stockpiling, having a deep pantry, call it what you will, goes back to biblical times. The grasshopper and the ant parable. We can look at the situations going back thousands upon thousands of years. And people have always put things back for the winter, for a rainy day, for next season. Look what the farmers do. They put part of the crop back to replant next year. Now, in the modern mechanized industry that is farming, that isn't quite as simple as that, because you have seed corn companies that plant specific seeds for next year. They're not on the normal everyday farm, because the farmer buys those seeds from the seed corn factories, essentially, and sells that product as a finished product without putting any back. But the simple version is a little is put back every year for next year. So if the manufacturers, the seed corn companies as they are, do it, if most people who survived for millennia. They survived by putting things back for the bad times, for winter, until they can grow things again. Look how things were preserved in your Asian nations. Pickling, kimchi, pickled vegetables in general. Because they had the vinegar from the rice wine. They had the vegetables, and they could save them by pickling them. They put them back for when they couldn't have them fresh. Norwegians, the salt cod. People have been preparing since the dawn of time. Again, the biblical references. We have archaeological references and examples. We have honey and wine in amphora from the bottom of the Mediterranean. People have always put stuff back. Why? Again, so you can eat during the bad times. Now, that bad time may be an economic crisis. That bad time may just be, hey, it's January and I don't have fresh peas. So with a little luck, I've canned some. I can buy some frozen at the store, or there's some dehydrated in a can somewhere. There's always an option. You may not like it, though. For most of us, we're not going to have an emergency where we are required to scrounge food, to dig into our long-term preps, to not be able to get some kind of food. Now, historically, it has happened repeatedly, but historically, what happens is we have economic issues. We have shortages, the prices jump, and availability drops. Okay, so I no longer have the option of 6 different types of green beans at the frozen section at the grocery store. I might have one if I'm lucky. And the price has doubled or tripled. And I'm looking at my paycheck going, well, that didn't go very far this month. What happens like right now when the buying power of your dollar is dropped 10, 15, 20, 30% at the grocery store? What do you cut out? Well, if you're looking at this from an economic standpoint, if you're prepared, if you've already put food back, and you can at least augment your diet, your menu, with what you already have, until things steady out or get better. We can hope for get better, but don't bet on it. But if you can take that bag of rice, for example, that you bought for $1, and in 3 years, you're eating that bag of rice. Yeah, it cost you $1. But if you had to buy it in 3 years, and it's $2.99 as opposed to $1, it's just short of a 300% increase in price. You just saved yourself $2. You just saved yourself money that you can put somewhere else. Like to pay the light bill, pay the mortgage, pay off that car. Essentially what you've done by storing stuff is buying something on sale against tomorrow's prices. And that's the biggest part of prepping. You're getting ready for something to happen. Good, bad, or indifferent. But you're getting ready. And the more you can get ready, the better you can get ready, the easier life is going to be for you. Because let's face it, what's easier to do? Open that can of carrots, be it dehydrated or regular, or till the land, plant the seed, water it, wait for it to grow, thin the row, and finally, after 90 to 120 days, pull the carrot, wash it, and eat it. One of which, depending on the situation, can be a null profit endeavor. You waste more energy than you get. It's a volume thing. But if, whenever there's a sale at the store, I can put back half a dozen cans of something, or a couple bags of something that are going to last. Realistically, it's not a lot of effort. A little money, but not a lot of effort being done there. I'm already doing the effort at work. I'm not adding more effort to my day. And I'm certainly not saying just go buy everything. If you can home can things and home package things, great. Do it. Do something. There's that catchphrase from before. Do something. Best point, the economics in the world are not looking good. China. The U.S. economy is doing something very strange. And we all need to be looking ahead and saying, am I ready for that? So at this point, look at your prepping. Look at your survivalism training. Can you make a fire with 3 dry twigs? Great! Can you eat with 3 wet twigs? There's the challenge. But look at everything. And do something. Get back to prepping. Get back to getting ready for tomorrow. That food you put back today is nothing except an insurance policy that pays off with sale prices. So, hope that didn't ramble too much. Got a little weird at the end, I'm sure, but y'all have fun. Power Prepper out.